Cathy from Cathy's Cooking at the Rex Allen Theater Presents. We're on YouTube now, and we thank our subscribers already that have subscribed to our station, watching our show. We appreciate all of you, and we'd love to have some more. So if you like our show, just hit subscribe. The Rex Allen Theater Presents. And I'm Cathy from Cathy's Cooking. So we'll go ahead and get started today. I am doing a recipe that I have used for a long time, and actually the recipe originated from my sister-in-law Reed, and it has become one of my most favorite coconut meringue pie recipes, and I hope it will become yours also. So today let's go ahead and get started. It starts off with 2 cups of milk. Now, as you all know, if you're cooks, the richer the milk, the richer the pie is. So I usually try to use whole milk in mine. It's 2% works well, but like I said, it just tastes better if you use whole milk in it. So I've got 2 cups of whole milk, and this is you can do in a microwave. And at my microwave at home, I'm in my mother's kitchen, by the way. This used to be her kitchen, and so my brother Rex, who does all the filming and everything, and he redone our mother's house and Dad's, and fixed the kitchen. So this is where all the shows will be filmed from. So it's originally my mother's kitchen. So let's go ahead and get started. I've got 2 cups of whole milk, and I'm going to put this in my glass Pyrex measuring cup. This works best. You can cook it on the stove, and Rex just asked me, said, do you need one of the burners? And I said, no, it all goes in the microwave. You know, years ago people didn't have microwaves, so you did it on the stove, and lots of times if you didn't watch it carefully, you had trouble with it scorching. So this will prevent that. This is an old microwave over here that Rex has got, and it's much hotter than the modern microwave. So I should have done a test run before I did this, but hopefully I'll get it done without getting it too thick or whatever. So I've got 2 cups in this Pyrex bowl, and I'm going to add to that 2/3 cup of granulated sugar. And then I'm going to add 4 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. Go ahead and add that in. And then I'm going to stir this together, and after I stir it together, I'm going to go over to the microwave and put this milk in the microwave. The milk has got to be warm. It just makes it everything blend much better once it's the milk is heated a little bit. So I'm going to take this over here, and I'm going to put it on about 30 seconds just to see how long it's going to take for it to get warm. It might take a couple tries. Remember, your milk doesn't have to be boiling. It's just got to be warm. I'm going to do it another 20 seconds on this. Do that, the sugar, the 2/3 cup of sugar, and the 4 tablespoons of all-purpose flour that I mixed together. And I'm going to add 3 egg yolks. The egg whites we're going to use later for the meringue. Let me beat these up just a little bit. This is warm. I'm going to add to that the flour and the sugar mixture. Stir that in just a little bit. Now stir it with a wire whisk. That's just in case if there's some flour that didn't get mixed up good. It breaks it up and makes your pudding very thin, very smooth. Okay, then to that I'm going to add 3 eggs. And my sister taught me, she was a wonderful cook, and she taught me years ago, when you're doing anything with egg yolks, you know, sometimes you have stuff, that white stuff kind of clings to your egg yolks. She said always strain it, and that's what I do, and it just makes you don't have no strings or anything in your pudding. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use a wire, you think of what you call it, strainer. Let me get my other spoon here where I can get it all out. See, it strains all that. It strains it real smoothly and stuff. And you see, you still got that right there left in it, and it's not going into your pudding. But that's a neat little trick she taught me years and years ago to do, and that's what I've always done ever since. Now I'm going to add the butter. And that's 4 tablespoons of butter, or a half a stick. And then I'm going to put a teaspoon of vanilla. And I'm going to put all this in there, and I'm going to be stomping it and stirring it quite a bit till we get it all mixed together and it's all cooked and it's thick enough to put in my pie shell. I've already baked the pie shell. I baked it, pre-baked it on I got it out and thawed out my pie shell, and I baked it in a 400-degree oven for about 10 to 11 minutes. And I pricked with a fork so it would not get puffy or anything. So that's already ready for this. So I'm going to go ahead and stir this together. And I'm going to put it in the microwave. Like I say, it might take a few minutes to get this done. And the butter will melt and everything. You can smell the vanilla in it right now. It smells so good. It is a very good recipe, and you'll find that it's very, very easy to use. I'm going to put this on maybe 1 minute this time to start it. But the butter's got to melt and all that, but we'll go over the recipe again. It's 2 cups of milk, 2/3 cup of sugar, 4 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. And you mix the sugar and your flour together. And then you got 3 eggs, and you save the egg whites for the meringue later. And you mix up your egg yolks like I did and put it in there with your 4 tablespoons of butter and your teaspoon of vanilla. So that's all it is to it. And then when it's done, this is done, I'll get it out and I'll add a half a cup of flake coconut. Cook a little while longer. It hadn't even started to get thick yet. Once it starts getting thick, it gets thick pretty fast, so you have to be very careful with it. And we will put the, you see how perfect that comes out? It's perfect every time. And you don't have to worry about, like I say, it's scorching. You see, that is the consistency, and it's going to get thicker when it cools. The aroma smells so good. You can smell the vanilla and stuff in that pudding. But that's just, it's a delicious pie. And it's so easy. Now what I'm going to do now is, I am going to add a half a cup of flake coconut. And this is the last thing you add to the pudding. You don't cook that in with your pudding. So I'm going to stir that in. You'll find that this particular pie is not real sweet. It's just sweet enough. And you can taste the coconut and all the pudding. The pudding itself is just very, very good. Okay, now I'm going to pour this in my baked pie shell that I've already baked. And you can use a deep dish if you want to. You take just about all of that. And I like to use a wire whisk all the time because it just keeps the pudding real smooth, as you can see. So I'm going to set this over here. And next I'm going to add, we got to put the meringue on top. And in this it just only takes, I think it's 2 teaspoons of white granulated sugar. And then I've got the other half of the flake coconut that we're going to put on top of this pie. So but let's go ahead. I didn't... the big mixer, I didn't get out. My mother has a KitchenAid, and I didn't want to get it out, so I brought my little handheld, and it's going to take a little while to get this mixed because it's a small mixer. So I've got 3 egg yolks in here. And today is a rainy, cloudy day, and it's best if you can do it on a clear day. The meringue just does better. It rises better and everything. So I'm going to go ahead and get this started and start whipping it. Like I said, it's going to take a while. I usually whip mine just a little bit before I add the sugar and stuff. But all this meringue calls for is just 2 teaspoons of sugar. It doesn't